So, hey, we're here at Spring IO. Hey, John.
I'm Osama
Osama?
Kasturi, Java developer at Testo in Germany.
All right. And we just got done doing the spring office hour session. And one of the comments I made was, if you're not using your dev environment, why is it there? Like if you're at a conference and nobody's pushing it into production, why is your development environment there at all?
Yes.
And he said, hey, like, what is that all about? Let's talk about it. So I said, hey, let's just jump in and let's take a look. So here, I'm gonna add my screen and just kind of show like what I'm talking about. Maybe let's do it this way. We'll show. No, let's just do it there. Yeah, we'll do this. That one. Here we go. So we're gonna show that, and I'm just kind of showing what's on my laptop. So on my laptop, I talked about, hey, I've got these namespaces, I got things. So if I'm working on services, if I've got 100 services that are in production, I don't really need all of them running on my laptop all the time, but maybe as a developer experience, I like the idea of having end-to-end tests. So give me an example of how I can do that. And if I can do that on my laptop, I can do it in production. So here on my laptop, I've got this Deshawn-IO that's running on my laptop, and we're gonna go and I'm gonna go hit intro.deshawn.io, and we're gonna see that, hey, it loads. It took a second, but over here, we see now it loaded and it's only been up 6 seconds. So it came up, it answered the call, and then it's gonna shut down. So this is just one part, right? That's just one app. But when I commit something, there's the path to production, the time that it takes to get something to production, it matters, right? If it's a CV or security or something, we got to meet the market, that matters. But if there's nothing else happening right now, if it's Sunday night, I don't want my development environment up. Those pennies, those VMs, those whatever it is, those services, they don't need to be running. So the idea is I hit a git commit, and something is listening to that commit that triggers, oh, I've got something. This is on a branch that I need to go and test. And then it stands up. And we have all sorts of ways to do it. We have Terraform and Ansible and Concourse, for example, that we can go and stand up infrastructure to then do our test. But your path to production has different steps. It's got the dev and integration and stage and performance, whatever it is. Once it's up, maybe you have a window of time that says, hey, I want to have this application up for 4 hours. If there's no other commits, then shut it down. You don't want to be standing it up, shutting it down all day. But like 8 a.m., in the morning, you stand it up and you're doing feature releases. Okay, cool. But when there's nothing coming, there's nothing being hit in test or in dev or in stage, why should it be up? Once you've validated your workload, take it to production. The only thing that needs to be there is kind of the event stream that says, hey, I've got new changes to test, validate, sign, seal, deliver. And that's the idea. There's a lot of ways to do that. The thing that I like to think is everything is software defined, right? One of the benefits of having a cloud, having a private cloud, is that I can do these things and I can be a good consumer. We used to make the joke about, oh, this is cheap. Nothing is cheap these days, right? Because at scale, everything has a cost.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not going to give you a recipe for how to do this, I'll put it on my backlog because this is something I believe in. It's something the way I operate in my home lab, my infrastructure, but I'm just a developer advocate. So I've got Raspberry Pis that they stand up. They do the tests. You can see that I've got here Knative serving.
Yes.
I've got Flux. Flux is my GitOps. So it's looking for a commit to a repo, and then it fires off a process.
Okay.
So that's how I'm handling this. I like to have a source software defined everything from my network to my environments, my infrastructure, all the way up, all the way down. And if I can have that similarity on my laptop, that's beneficial.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Right. What else did you want to know?
Basically, can you show me an example of, or can you show this?
You know what?
Also an example.
You know what I'm going to show you? I'm going to show you where I got this concept from.
Okay.
My good friend Marcin and Josh. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to stop. And this is a project that I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And I'm going to talk about Spring Cloud pipelines, because Spring Cloud pipelines, I believe that this has it in it. So this is a project. This is where I got this concept.
Okay.
Josh and Marcin from the observability team, they did a lesson on O'Reilly, I think, where they talked about this API driven path to production,
Okay.
and they're talking about Cloud Foundry and these pipelines and how you can do that. Like, hey, here's my event, go and stand up that org or that space, and then deliver the things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just point you to this project. It's called Spring Cloud Pipelines. I'll put that in the chat, and that is where you get the examples.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this Spring Cloud, and it's a project. Pipelines. It's a project that's no longer being supported, but the concepts
Yeah.
behind it, I still believe in. And it's everything that I was saying earlier is I don't want to waste infrastructure on things that's not making my company money or saving my company money.
Sure.
When I need it, then I'll use it. And it's the same concept behind like serverless.
Yeah.
So I don't have a great example for you at the moment,
Okay.
but if you take a look and you learn and
Okay.
understand that project,
Yeah.
it'll take you a long way. You
Okay.
don't necessarily need to use the project. It's a little bit outdated, hasn't been maintained,
Okay.
but the concepts are still the
The
same.
concepts, I mean, I guess.
And also, I want to point you to that. I think it's on O'Reilly. O'Reilly, Josh, and Marcin. Here, applied continuous delivery. There it is. So let's put this. This is the one that I want you to go and suit. So it's from 2017,
Okay.
but it's 100% valuable today, right?
Okay.
It is the reason you asked me the question. You're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. All of that is
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
So let me put that into the stream
Yeah.
chat here. And I will also show this one. This, go and spend it. And you can go and watch this.
Yeah.
Where is it? Here it is. You can go and watch this. You can do a free trial. And I don't remember how long it is. 7 hours.
Okay. 7.
So you have 7 hours. You might even have a 7-hour flight. Like, yeah, you have time to go and watch this.
What's this?
This is my recommendation. So you want that example. You want that understanding. This is the one to go to.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Does that work?
Yeah. Work.
Well, what other questions do you have, right? If you come to my house for dinner,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
come to my house for dinner and you leave hungry, that's your fault.
Yes.
We're here at Spring IL.
Yeah.
You have questions. You have access to all the people.
Yeah.
What are other questions that you have?
Probably. This was my question, but another question about the testing. Have you like? I think.
It's in here. And you know what else?
Yeah.
My friend Oleg over there at Test Containers,
Yes.
he's got some really exciting things around testing. We're doing a lot of different things, and
Yeah.
we have to validate the idea that we can. Oh, our users will find it, our customers will find it. That's
Okay.
not acceptable. We believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got another repository that I shared yesterday
Yes.
around native images. I like to take native images to production,
Yeah.
and it kind of ties back to this. If I am running things on my laptop, I've only got 16 gigs on.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you a big bloated container and take up a bunch of your resources, even if I'm scaling up and scaling down. I want it to be fast, small container. I don't really want to bother with it.
Okay.
With the native images, I can give you, while we're working together, I can give you these native images, even if it's just for development.
Okay.
I can give you those native images so you can do end-to-end system tests.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the thing. But in order to validate that that native image works just like my JVM image that I take to production, one of the patterns is as I make a set of abstract tests. Let's go over here. Let's go to github.com. And I think it's in the YouTube service. Maybe. Let's take a look. Source test. Yeah, so I made this abstract test.
Okay.
And when I'm doing my unit testing, I'm testing it with the application tests. I'm extending the abstract tests, run those tests locally,
Yeah.
but then I have a native image test. And I use test containers to build the native image,
Okay.
but then it's also running the exact same test that I ran against my JVM image.
Okay.
So I can validate that my native image, my smaller, tinier native image that I can scale up and scale down, operates and behaves the exact same way as my JVM image.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll leave you with this. That's a repository, and I'll put that in the chat.
Good.
So you can go take a look at
Yeah.
as an example. So that's part of what I do as my testing.
Okay.
I deploy my stuff to Raspberry Pis.
Yeah.
So I want small, but even during development, I always want to build a native image so that you can run it on your laptop
Yeah.
and you don't have to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Containers of the new art, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Other tests, other questions around testing.
Question regarding the Graal VM, basically.
Oh, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. Okay.
Graal VM.
Yes, the Graal VM, basically. What's the benefit of using Graal VM? And because basically we didn't use it and I don't have that experience with it. But can you actually like deploy it in a container, have it with
Yes.
a container of
Yes.
your, and is the container gonna be like big
Smaller.
and small?
Smaller,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because here, let's draw a picture. Let's go over here and let's talk about that. Let's go Xcal draw. And when we build a container, like a Docker image,
Yes.
normally we have our OS layer,
Yeah, I took it off. I took it off from my talk.
and then we have like the runtime,
Yes.
I took it off from my talk. That's why.
and then we have our app.
Yeah.
I have it. I have that's specific.
So this is what a container looks like. When I
That's very specific. kit.
when I build a native image,
Thank you very much.
the native image doesn't need this layer, and this layer
It is good.
is just the native code. So it runs on the same operating system,
Yeah.
but the JVM has some meat to it.
Yeah.
What this has done with Graal VM is Graal VM, it takes, we had the hotspot that would optimize parts of your bytecode and make it native.
Okay.
Graal VM takes all of the bytecode
Okay.
and optimizes it for that operating system and just gives you a native binary.
Yeah.
So you don't need this entire layer.
There.
It gets all of the things, the native image will have in it all of the things that you need from your app, all your bytecode.
Okay.
Plus it has all the bits from your JVM, from your Tomcat,
Yeah.
all in that one native image.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So your containers are smaller, your memory footprint is smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you get.
Nice. Nice.
So I can go back over here and I can go over to my laptop, right?
Yeah.
So if I stop this, then I go back to the here. We have our memory here,
Yes.
right? So here's how much memory that that's Zipkin is taking 31. My Cloudflare D Ingress is taking 16. Or no, there's Zipkin is taking 154 and Ollama is taking 31.
Okay.
But now let's go back and hit that intro again, which it wasn't there. We're gonna hit that refresh and we see it stand up. And how much is intro taking? Zero megs, right? Because it's tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know what that scale is, but that's awesome, right? It's
Yeah.
like I get this thing that stands up, it's tiny, and then it goes away.
Goes-
And we're talking at scale,
Yeah.
that adds up.
Yeah.
Right. So I can run these kind of things. I don't know about you. I don't have unlimited access to infrastructure. I don't have a great big budget. That's why I got Raspberry Pi.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is one of those benefits.
Yeah.
There you go. We're at 45.
45.
All right. So still,
Still, yeah.
that 45 is going to go away in a sec.
Yeah.
This is one of the benefits. It's like, I don't need those things running all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's benefit to having it running 24/7.
Yeah.
But when something is running 24/7, you're paying for it 24/7.
Exactly.
So this is just one pattern, and there's
Yeah.
different patterns.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if your workloads are being, hit and they need to be up 24/7, fantastic. But if you've got workloads that have different traffic spikes, throughout the day, then maybe you don't need to have the same scale, the high watermark scale
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And this way you can scale up and you can react quickly
Yeah.
to whatever scale you need.
Exactly.
So that's one of the benefits.
Yeah.
Smaller footprint. You get a little bit different security posture too, because closed garden, you can't do the dynamic loading of classes. It's a statically linked native binary.
Okay.
So there's a lot of benefits in there.
Okay. Yeah. 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 That's really nice because it really helps. I mean, we could dig deeper into it and see. And also another question
Yes.
right now.
This is what we're here for.
During the live stream before with Dan
Mhm.
Liga, you said about hot deployment basically.
Yeah.
With Java. What is the best way to do that?
So I like Knative with Kubernetes. You
Okay.
have a bunch of strategies. Like I can say, hey, I want to deploy this new version of the app.
Yes.
I want to deploy it as a different release.
Yeah.
Send 10% of the traffic to that app,
Okay.
so that I can still be up.
Okay.
I can say, hey, deploy this version. Don't take away the other one. Make sure that this one's up and healthy before you take away the other one.
Okay.
So I'm always up and ready to respond. But because I'm scaled to zero,
Yeah.
that's a benefit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to affect my users. So I can continuously deploy
Yeah.
without worrying about breaking things. And I can validate, yeah, production is good. Testing in production is valuable.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay. That was my question. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Again.
Yeah. I use Flux.
Flux.
So when I do a git commit, Python kicks off, it builds me a new image. When that new image is available, it deploys it and it gets rid of the other one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I will look also into Flux.
Wonderful.
Because
So we're connected now.
yeah.
Right? You have access. That's one of the benefits of being here at the conference is you have access to people.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking the questions.
Welcome and thank
Yeah,
you for
enjoy the
having
rest
me.
of the conference.
Thank you very much.